Witnesses speak of a colossal shadow with wings wide enough to blot out the sun, an ancient sky beast of legend that many swear still exists today. Across North America, stories endure of colossal birds soaring high above the trees, creatures so massive their wing beats are said to stir thunder and their eyes flash like lightning. These beings are not merely legend to many indigenous peoples. They are sacred. In Lakota tradition, the Thunderbird, or Wakinyan, is a sky spirit of immense power, protector and punisher alike. The Algonquin and Menominee peoples describe similar beings, enormous winged guardians that control storms and watch over the world. These are not treated as mere myths, but real forces with real presence. Today we ask a bold question. Could these ancient stories be rooted in literal truth? Could the Thunderbird be more than metaphor? In this investigation, we'll explore native traditions, historical newspaper reports of giant birds, and modern eyewitness sightings, some claiming wingspans wider than small airplanes. We'll look at fossil records of real prehistoric winged giants like Argentavis, and we'll weigh the skeptical arguments against a mounting body of consistent, startling testimony. By the end of this video, you'll have a grasp on the surprisingly compelling case for the idea that the Thunderbird may indeed be real. What are Thunderbirds? Thunderbirds are typically described as massive winged beings, far exceeding any known bird species in size. Witnesses have estimated wingspans ranging anywhere from 15 to over 30 feet. Some say it resembles a gigantic eagle or condor. Others report leathery wings more akin to a pterosaur. But almost all agree it is something otherworldly, a predator of the skies so large and powerful it could easily lift a deer, or as some report, even a human child. Native American lore. Among the Algonquin-speaking peoples, the Thunderbird is revered as a guardian spirit that brings rain and hurls lightning to punish those who break moral laws. The Menominee of Wisconsin speak of Thunderbirds resting atop a great mountain in the west, protecting humanity from the great horned serpents that dwell beneath the earth. In the Pacific Northwest, the Kwakwaka'wakw people recount the Thunderbird's epic battles with the mighty whale, a force of the sea. These narratives are not mere metaphors. They are consistent oral histories passed down with reverence, often describing the Thunderbird as a literal being of the natural world, imbued with powerful and profound spiritual significance. In Lakota tradition, the Thunderbird, known as Wakinyan, is a formidable sky spirit. Stephanie Big Eagle, a Lakota artist and cultural educator, emphasizes the sacred role of Thunderbirds, stating, quote, "Thunderbirds are one of our celebrated, sacred beings that we work with." The Ojibwe people, part of the Algonquin language family, hold that the Thunderbirds, or Animiki, were created by Nanobozo to combat underwater spirits. These beings are believed to reside in nests atop mountains and are known to hurl lightning bolts to kill serpents, serving as protectors of humanity. James Redsky, an Ojibwe elder from Shoal Lake, Ontario, describes the behavior of young Thunderbirds, sharing, quote, "When the young Thunderbirds go by, they cause destruction because they don't know any better. They knock down trees with lightning from their beaks. Houses are struck and smashed also. The older Thunderbirds try to correct these foolish young birds, but they do not learn because they are so young." This narrative illustrates the belief that Thunderbirds are sentient beings with familial structures capable of both creation and destruction. These accounts, rich in detail and consistent across diverse tribes, underscore the Thunderbird's significance in Native American cultures, not as a mere symbol, but as a powerful entity with a tangible presence in the natural world. Historical newspaper accounts. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, American newspapers frequently reported encounters with enormous, mysterious birds, accounts that provide intriguing glimpses into the era's unexplained phenomena. One of the most revered reports appeared in the Tombstone Epitaph on April 26, 1890. The article described a, quote, winged monster discovered in the desert between the Whetstone and Huachuca mountains by two ranchers. The creature was said to resemble a huge alligator with an elongated tail and an immense pair of wings. Measurements indicated a length of 92 feet and a wingspan of approximately 160 feet. The article noted, quote, the monster had only 2 feet, these being situated a short distance in front of where the wings were joined to the body. The head was about 8 feet long, with jaws set with strong, sharp teeth. Its eyes were as large as a dinner plate and protruded about halfway from the head. Despite numerous claims over the years of a photograph depicting this creature nailed to a barn with men standing in front for scale, no such image has ever been found in the archives of the Tombstone Epitaph or elsewhere. Investigations, including those by the newspaper's staff in the 1960s, have failed to locate any evidence of the photograph's existence apart from the collective memory of many people. Other historical accounts. Reports of giant birds were not confined to Arizona. In the late 1800s, Pennsylvania newspapers documented sightings of massive avian creatures. In 1892, Fred Murray of Westfield reported seeing a flock of birds near Dent's Run, with wingspans estimated at 16 feet. In 1898, a farmer near Centerville captured a large gray bird between 4 and 5 feet tall, which he was unable to identify. In 1944, residents near Southside Pittsburgh and Allegheny County claimed to have seen a gigantic bird with a wingspan, quote, large enough to block out the sun. James Runco of Braddock was quoted in local papers saying, "It wasn't like any bird I've ever seen. Bigger than a plane, it seemed." The missing cowboy photo. The legend of the missing Thunderbird photo remains one of the most enduring mysteries in cryptozoology. This elusive image, allegedly depicting a group of cowboys standing beside a massive winged creature, often described as resembling a pterosaur, has been the subject of countless recollections, investigations, and debates. Ivan T. Sanderson, a respected zoologist and cryptozoologist, claimed to have once possessed a copy of this photograph. He recounted that he had a photostat of the image, which he lent to 2 associates who subsequently lost it. Sanderson described the creature in the photo as having a long, pointed beak, akin to a pteranodon, and noted that the men in the image were dressed in cowboy attire, standing in front of a barn with the creature's wings spread wide. He also mentioned displaying the photo during an appearance on Canadian television in the early 1970s, although no recordings of this broadcast have been found. Many individuals have reported vivid memories of seeing the Thunderbird photo in various publications during the mid-20th century. In the September 1963 issue of Fate magazine, a correspondent named H.M. Cranmer asserted that the photo had been published in newspapers across America. Similarly, author John Keel insisted, quote, "I know, I saw it. And not only that, I compared notes with a lot of other people who saw it." Keel believed he encountered the image in men's magazines like Saga or True during the 1960s. Another individual, known by the pseudonym St. Albans 999, recalled seeing the photo in a 1967 magazine article about old stories from the American West. He described the image as featuring several men pointing to what appeared to be a large black pterodactyl nailed to their hunting cabin or shed. His recollection was so detailed that he created a drawing of the scene, which has been featured in various publications discussing the mystery. Skepticism and the search for evidence. Despite these numerous accounts, extensive searches through archives of magazines such as Saga, True, and Argosy have failed to uncover the elusive photograph. Some researchers suggest that the widespread memories of the image may result from a phenomenon known as collective false memory, where a group of people recall an event that did not actually occur. Others believe that the photo might still exist, hidden away in a private collection or misfiled in an archive, waiting to be rediscovered. The enduring fascination with the missing Thunderbird photo underscores the human desire to find tangible evidence of the extraordinary. Whether the image ever existed or is a product of collective imagination, the legend continues to captivate and inspire those intrigued by the mysteries of the natural world. Modern eyewitness sightings. Modern eyewitness accounts of massive, unidentified birds, often described as Thunderbirds, continue to emerge across North America, adding compelling testimony to this enduring legend. On July 25, 1977, 10-year-old Marlon Lowe was playing in his backyard in Lawndale, Illinois, when two enormous birds swooped down. One of them reportedly grabbed the boy and lifted him several feet into the air before dropping him. His mother, Ruth Lowe, witnessed the entire event. She later told reporters, quote, "It looked like a condor, but it was all black and had a white ring around its neck. I screamed and ran toward them, thinking that my son would be taken away." Ruth's quick action in charging the bird likely saved her son's life, since she seemed to spook it, causing it to release Marlon after carrying him approximately 35 feet. Several neighbors also reported seeing the birds, and the story was carried by numerous local and national outlets. In 2001, pilot John Bucher reported seeing a bird so large it dwarfed his small plane. Quote, "At first, I thought it was another aircraft. Its wingspan looked to be longer than 14 feet, possibly 20. It was dark, and its flight was smooth and fast." The Anchorage Daily News reported the sighting, and several other bush pilots later came forward with similar stories. In 2002, James Thompson was driving near South Greensburg, Pennsylvania, when a massive bird passed overhead. Quote, "It had no business being in the sky. It was bigger than any bird I've ever seen, easily 10, maybe 15 feet across." According to a 2018 article from the Juneau Empire, an Alaska resident witnessed an enormous bird in the Mendenhall Valley, describing it as, quote, "like an eagle, but 5 times as big." These accounts, while lacking physical evidence, contribute to a pattern of sightings across different regions and time periods, suggesting that the legend of the Thunderbird may have been inspired by real, albeit elusive, creatures. Could giant birds still exist? The idea that Thunderbirds might represent a real surviving species is not as implausible as it might seem at first glance. The fossil record confirms that Earth once hosted truly massive avian creatures. Argentavis magnificans, discovered in Argentina, lived around 6 million years ago and had a wingspan estimated at 23 feet, nearly the length of a small aircraft. Weighing up to 170 pounds, it's considered one of the largest flying birds ever known to exist. Closer to home, the skies of prehistoric North America were once dominated by the Pterantornis merriami, or teratorn, a predatory bird with a wingspan of 12 to 15 feet. Fossils of teratorns have been found in places like California and Florida, and their skeletal structure suggests that they were well equipped for soaring flight, much like modern condors or eagles, only dramatically larger. The existence of these giants raises a compelling question. Could a relict population have survived unnoticed in remote regions? Skeptics often argue that a bird with a wingspan over 15 feet would be too heavy to achieve flight. But prehistoric giants like Argentavis magnificans prove otherwise. Argentavis flew not by flapping like a sparrow, but by soaring on thermal updrafts, just as modern vultures and condors do. Its low wing loading, wide wings, and lightweight skeleton made it a master of gliding flight. If thunderbirds are a relict species adapted in similar ways, they wouldn't need powerful wing beats or continuous motion to stay airborne. They would ride thermals over vast wilderness with minimal effort, silent, high, and nearly invisible to the ground below. Much of North America remains largely undeveloped and inaccessible. The Pacific Northwest contains vast expanses of dense forest where even large known animals like mountain lions, wolves, and bears go years without being photographed. The Appalachian Mountains host deep hollows and isolated ridgelines that few people ever traverse. Alaska's interior, meanwhile, spans hundreds of thousands of square miles, much of it unexplored by foot or air. In such remote terrain, it's not inconceivable that a shy, wide-ranging species could avoid detection, especially one that's capable of flight. Furthermore, new species of large birds are still being discovered. The New Guinea harpy eagle subspecies was unknown to science until the 1870s. The Socotra buzzard, or Buteo socotraensis, is a bird of prey only discovered and named in 2010. The natural world continues to surprise us and may still hold giants in its shadows. Unlike other cryptids that require us to suspend the laws of physics or biology, a surviving giant bird requires only three things: wings large enough to fly, enough food to support its weight, and a tendency to avoid humans. None of these are impossible. Misidentifications and skeptic arguments. Skeptics often suggest that sightings of thunderbirds are merely cases of mistaken identity. Oversized turkey vultures, golden eagles seen from a strange angle, or even sandhill cranes in unusual lighting. And in some cases, they may be right. However, what sets many Thunderbird reports apart is the scale described. Witnesses often estimate wingspans of 15 to 20 feet or more, well beyond that of even the largest known birds. For comparison, a bald eagle's wingspan rarely exceeds 8 feet. A California condor, the largest flying bird in North America today, maxes out around 10 feet. Descriptions of birds, quote, as wide as a small plane, or large enough to, quote, block out the sun, as some witnesses have claimed, go far beyond the bounds of plausible misidentification. These reports come from diverse regions, time periods, and social backgrounds, yet they often describe the same features: immense wings, a reptilian or featherless appearance in some cases, and gliding, silent flight. When so many independent observers tell the same improbable story, dismissing them all out of hand seems intellectually lazy. The final skeptical objection is the lack of physical evidence. No carcass, bones, or confirmed photographs. But this is true of many elusive species. Until 1901, the okapi was thought to be a myth. The coelacanth, a prehistoric fish, was declared extinct for 65 million years before one was caught off the coast of South Africa in 1938. Discovery doesn't always arrive on our schedule. The Thunderbird in pop culture and pseudoscience. In recent decades, the Thunderbird has taken on a second life in pop culture. It has appeared in comic books, movies, and video games, sometimes as a noble guardian spirit, other times as a monstrous beast. Shows like Monster Quest and Unsolved Mysteries have explored the Thunderbird legend. This attention has helped preserve the legend, but it has also muddied the waters. Hoaxes, exaggerated accounts, and digitally altered images circulate widely online, making it harder for serious researchers to separate fact from fiction. The Thunderbird risks becoming a caricature, reduced to a trope in cryptozoology, rather than treated as a legitimate mystery worthy of investigation. And yet, the core of the legend remains, a widespread, culturally consistent tradition describing a bird of impossible size and power, seen across generations by people with no incentive to lie. Conclusion: between legend and reality. From the sacred stories of the Lakota and Ojibwe to the chilling testimonies of modern witnesses, the Thunderbird has proven to be one of the most persistent and compelling mysteries in North America. Its image is carved into totems, painted on canyon walls, and reported in newspapers, both old and new. Skeptics may point to the absence of a body or a nest. Believers point to the consistency of reports, the fossil record of massive avian life, and the sheer number of credible sightings that defy easy explanation. We are left, as always, with two possibilities. One, that these stories are merely symbolic echoes of long-extinct creatures and cultural metaphors. The other, that there really is something out there, still gliding silently above the tree line, seen only by those lucky or unlucky enough to look up at just the right moment. Perhaps, somewhere beyond the clouds, the Thunderbird still soars. So there you have it. Quite a compelling and intriguing case for the literal existence of the being that some call the Thunderbird. So what do you think? Do these beings exist, or are they purely metaphor? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, if you've had a sighting of a being like this, I'd love to hear about it. Also, if you want to contribute to future projects and show me extra support, I'll leave a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description below. Thanks so much for watching.